Welcome to another episode of Mr. Therapist and the Counselor Podcast. We are your guide to personal recovery, whether you're dealing with an addiction, a mental health issue, or you're just trying to figure some things out. We empower your growth and we demystify the process of therapy. I'm Manny Romero, Jesse O.
This week, we talk about the concept of luck. Are you feeling lucky, or are you one of those unlucky people? You decide after this episode.
That's right. Here we go.
Your hair now looks good. Do you use pomade or use gel?
What do I use? It's
what kind of products? Naturally, it naturally just falls in. Yeah,
like a clay.
Like a clay. Okay, yeah. That's what I was doing. You have to hit it hard.
Is that what it is?
Before we recorded, I threw like the iron claw on Manny right now. But I was like, his hair was like, it actually looks great now. I think I fucking fixed it.
I hope so.
You're welcome.
You know what I feel like?
What?
You ever seen, there's something about Mary where she like fixes her hair and like...
You had to go with the one scene with the ejaculate?
Yeah, like I just, you know.
Have you seen that one movie? Jeez.
So what's up, man? We got St. Patty's Day coming, dog.
There's a movie called Saltburn out. Have you heard of that movie?
No.
Google Saltburn bathtub scene.
Is it gross?
Just,
dude,
I don't want to talk about it.
Off camera, dude.
Off camera. Anyways, okay. So St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Are we going to talk about the luck already?
No. We're
doing
just
a little
St.
pregame
Patrick's Day,
warm-up, man.
dude. I'm just setting the zone because
okay.
we are in March recording. You know,
Do you have any green?
No.
You looked... I meant like in your closet, just like
I have green in my closet.
It's green with envy for the rich. I'll tell you that.
I have a Mexico soccer jersey.
Oh, okay.
That's green.
That is green.
Yeah. But
what's the color of the Mexico?
I have an element green shirt. Yeah, I got some green.
Okay. What's the color of the Mexico's flag?
Green, white, and red.
Got it.
The eagle.
Those colors bleed.
Those colors, what?
Nothing. The red, white, and blue, they don't bleed. Come on.
Sorry. My bad.
American. Just kidding. Hey, you wanted to...
Just like your favorite politician. Just kidding.
We wanted to talk about politics. No, we were going to talk about...
Let's just do some quick banter, bro.
That's what I wanted to talk about this. So, dead silence, okay?
Oh, my God.
I don't sit well with silence.
Yeah.
Listen, I've practiced this now with clients
Take a breath.
For a year or so. I didn't even breathe there. I just held my breath in. I've learned to it's okay to sit with silence in the rooms, therapy rooms, group therapy rooms, just
process rooms.
It's okay. You got to give people their time and their space to cultivate the silence, right? Sure. But my argument was, I don't know if on the podcast we could practice that.
Yeah.
I'm still about like an old school mentality of radio when they used to have you can never have dead air.
Yeah.
You always had to fill the time. But you're telling me that we could practice that when we're recording?
Yeah, because we were getting a little anxious, or I think
you said I was getting anxious, which I don't agree with.
Yeah, because we recently did an episode on breakups, and you were like, "Man, Manny's not bringing anything into this." So I was waiting for a pause so I could talk, but you were just rolling.
These guys, these guys right here. This guy's you're slow.
What do you mean, you people?
You have these slow transitions, and I'm just bro, pick it the fuck up. We got 20 minutes. We gotta get all this content in 20 minutes. But
I love it. No, you know what though?
What?
Let's let the viewers decide. Silence, dead silence. Is it okay on a podcast?
On a podcast,
or is it
are you gonna tune off? Are you gonna tune off and be like, these guys are not filling the air?
Yeah.
People want to be entertained.
We are entertaining.
I know, but if we're
most entertaining podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right. Silence or no silence.
That. Yeah.
You wanted to talk about a book as well that you're reading,
I
right?
want to give a shout out to a book, Hardwiring Happiness. I'm reading this book, and it's been super exciting just in helping implement some gratitude in my life, helping flip the switch on just appreciating things. And the book is by, I told you to write it down, bro.
You never gave it to me.
The book is by Rick Hansen, Hardwiring Happiness, and he uses sort of mindfulness and the brain to be bringing up memories to kind of teach you how to take in the good a little bit more, because as a society we really remember the bad and we tend to focus on the bad, and when something good happens to us we tend to brush it off as like, okay, that was good.
Can you say that statement again? You feel like that we only remember the bad?
Yeah, we remember the bad. It's actually genetically predisposed to remember the bad, to survive.
Why do I feel like that? Why is it though whenever I feel like I get nostalgic about things, I'll think of like things in my past that are so great when maybe they weren't so great? It's just because it was in the past. So I'm like, oh, like, I don't know, be like, I remember working at this place. It was so great. It was such a great job. And then you realize like maybe it wasn't all that great. I don't know. I feel like sometimes nostalgia's tricky, I think, a little bit.
But think about that though. So like I think I know what you're talking about, what memory comes up for you. But are you thinking about it as like, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky I'm so lucky I have that experience? Or are you looking at that as like, fuck, dude, why can't I can have that again? Or like,
I don't know. I guess there's probably a constant comparison that I do with things, but
that's pessimistic, right?
Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it is. But I guess to your point, like you say, we could remember like really tragic events. Like if you have a traumatic event, of course, how can you not forget that? Like,
how about the little things though? Like when you get all the red lights.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, I always get these red lights. Or,
yeah.
I don't know. There's this tendency for us to really put a lot of energy into when something inconvenience happens to us.
That's funny that you're talking about this, because this really does transition to our conversation.
You're getting so good at these transitions.
But it really does, like your whole red light analogy. But let's go. We want to go into the topic? Yeah. So this week on Time Sessions, with St. Patrick's Day coming up, we want you brought up, you said, hey, we should talk about luck, the concept of luck. You're kind of very general, and I was like, I just picked it up and went with it. So do you believe in luck?
And to a certain extent, yeah.
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Now you're like your favorite politician right there. Yeah.
What do you mean? What are you trying to?
Well, I will say that I'm probably against the concept of luck a little bit. I guess luck and chance, are they the same thing?
Luck and chance.
Like things just happen sometimes. You have to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I don't know if like you can be lucky or unlucky. Before I go into this conversation a little bit, because we love to talk about Freud here on Mr. Therapist and the Counselor.
Freud.
Yeah. Sigmund Freud, the man that started it all, right?
Yeah.
He had a real huge cocaine problem, didn't he? He put cocaine on all over the place.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
But,
so speaking of allegedly, so there was this thing that Freud supposedly said was that the Irish are impervious to psychoanalysis. I actually heard that in the movie called The Departed.
Come on, Freud.
Departed, right?
Yeah, the
microprocesses.
Dang.
That's terrible, I know. I had a guy from Boston who said that was a terrible Boston accent.
That sounds really good.
And I thought it was. Yeah. I believe everything Matt Damon said. So in the movie, he said that line while he's on a date. That was a Martin Scorsese film. But with that being said, like, people did research into this, and there's really no standing with this concept that like you're either Irish or not Irish when you're going into like therapy, right? So
yeah.
So talking about luck, you have nothing to say about that?
No, I don't.
Did you notice that I just spit?
Yeah, I did. I was trying to look away.
Good call. What's going on? Sorry, Dave. Just showered you with my love.
You got nothing to say about this. Calling me out right now, dude.
Speaking of, maybe silence is better than spitting, at least, right? So, we wanted to talk about luck.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I asked you if do you believe in luck?
Yeah.
There was a book, probably about like 10 years old now. A guy named Richard Wiseman. He wrote this book called The Luck Factor. The Luck Factor. What he did was he got 400 people. And he had them identify themselves as lucky or unlucky. So, do you view yourself as a lucky person or an unlucky person?
I think a man makes his own luck.
Billy Zane, Titanic. Yes, there you go.
But I don't I picture luck as black and white like that. Yeah.
Do you think in black and white?
Sometimes, I guess. Yeah. Sometimes.
What are you thinking right now? Black or white?
Probably both.
Okay.
Yeah, but
all right.
So that's such a seems like a black and white statement, right? Like,
well, let's just roll with it.
Are you a lucky person, or
do you feel like you've like really had a lot of luck in your life?
Yeah, I do. I feel like, but not like random luck. Like I feel.
Well, what's the difference?
Well, then no, I don't. Then no, I don't.
I'm not having a lucky time with this conversation right now.
I don't. I think that I'm very lucky to be alive. I'm very lucky.
Okay.
But I guess maybe I'm saying more in the terms of gratitude, right?
Yeah, you were just talking about,
exactly.
right?
So,
Yeah.
but I really do think a man makes his own luck. I think you put yourself in opportunities to get yourself to have a random conversation that benefits you, or something good happen to you because you're actively putting yourself in good situations. If you're surrounding yourself around people that don't do good things, you're probably going to get unlucky, right? And so I think that's how I think luck works.
I guess I was just thinking about it when you were sharing. I feel like I've been really negative on the concept of luck. Have you ever wish somebody, hey, good luck? And I've almost practiced I don't need to wish you luck. You're skilled, you're capable of doing that, whatever you need to do. And I feel like luck is kind of it's not, it's something I need to be lucky to be good at this. Yeah. So I almost see luck is the only thing that people are holding on to sometimes, where they don't really look at their assets or their skills, as I'd mentioned. So
I think some people are holding on to just luck. And that I don't know to you, but to me that sounds super depressing. It's sort of waiting for something to happen for you, right? Hoping that something kind of changes. And I'm like, no, we have some say.
Yeah.
We're able to do some things to put ourselves in lucky situations.
I think I would probably, it's funny that now, even in this moment, I'm starting to really, and maybe through my research a little bit before we did this, I'm starting to feel that maybe I hold a lot of luck. And I don't want to say I've lived a charmed life or anything like that, but when I say stuff, and I'll probably say it right now, I'm going to knock on wood. I'm a little, worried that if I say this stuff, I've never had a serious injury, or I still have a lot of people in my life, they haven't passed away. Now, things are eventually going to happen, there could happen like that as I get older, as other people get older. But I've like I said, I haven't had a charmed life. I've had most definitely some difficult times in my life, but I've gotten out of it and I've survived it, and I'm striving. So I think I've had a lot of good fortune where things could have got a lot worse for me.
Yeah.
I think not even just randomly even bringing up my drug use. I never shot up heroin. Okay. There was times where I thought maybe I need to, but I don't know if that was luck or just maybe me going, hey, don't go down that path. But I've heard people say hey, I wish I would have never done this or did that, and now where they're at. So I have some good fortune. Somebody's keeping an eye on me. So, and I probably have been lucky.
What are the 4 traits of lucky people?
So based on what Wiseman talked about in his book, The Luck Factor. So he says lucky people, they leap at opportunities. Okay. So I guess kind of how would you describe that? Somebody who's lucky they won't let things pass them by. They take a chance. They take a risk. Yeah. So. And
I think a little bit of what I said of they put themselves in positions to be able to have an opportunity to be lucky. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, and I think there's probably a lot of fear in taking a risk. And when we say risk, we mean there's an opportunity. Once again, an opportunity in your life.
What's an example of that? Maybe in your life, or I can talk about one. But
what do you got?
So. When I was working at our old place where we were running the show a little bit, I wanted to leave and I was looking to make more money, and so I was you know what, I'm going to apply at this bigger place that I ended up going to. I hate that we can't say names, but
I don't think I think
I just sound so suspicious.
No, it's not. I don't think so.
Anyway, so
we're protecting these companies so we don't badmouth them or draw any attention to them, and we're trying to attention to us. So
anyway, I'm applying to this job, and I was man, I'm never gonna get this job. It's sort of I'm not that skilled yet. This is a very high level operation going on. So I submit an application, and then I put a ridiculous amount of money on there, and I get a fucking call, and I was man, that was kind of, to me, in my experience of that, that was kind of lucky that I chose that particular place. I applied at that particular moment, and got this job. And it wasn't lucky that I got the job, but It was lucky that there was an opening. It was lucky that there was a need, and it was lucky that there was a relationship that I had developed with the person. So there was like a lot of things that lined up.
Yeah.
That if I wouldn't have like searched or even went for it, that it might not panned out for me. So
let me just name off the 4 traits, and then we'll kind of discuss them as well. So the 4 traits of a lucky person would be someone that leaps at opportunities.
Yeah.
Someone who listens to their intuition. Once again, the third one is like somebody who's optimistic.
Yeah.
And the 4th one is somebody who's resilient. So that was kind of traits of like people that are lucky. I feel like just reading these 4, I feel like you two, they are very much traits of you. Like, I feel like you probably are, you kind of do, you don't use luck as like an excuse, but like, I think you do believe in the concept of luck. And,
those 4 traits are, I mean, guys, that's like those are traits of, I feel like, opportunistic people almost, right? Like,
right. Yeah. So I heard one of the things, unlucky people tend to be more anxious, and they tend to second guess themselves. And maybe that creates that I feel so unlucky, like I can't do this or I can't do that, or bad things always happen to me.
I will dispel that a little bit, because I feel like even people who are lucky will doubt themselves. They'll have that experience of self-doubt and anxiety, but I think the difference is that they won't allow it to dictate their response to put themselves in an opportunity.
Have you ever had clients just say, hey, I'm so unlucky. Like, my life is, I just have a series of unfortunate events, and like, I can't recover. And you have, right? You've had, and I think I've also dealt with people that have been dealt such a bad hand. I think about
for sure.
Like, some people that are born into, I remember a client years ago who said like some of his first images growing up were like his parents using drugs, like almost like not even having a fair opportunity. Like, my life is unlucky. Like, I don't have a chance because this is what I'm destined to do. Like, not even, so like I could recognize why some people do say, I'm just an unlucky person. Like, I can't like I can't get a break here.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's tough.
I wanted to, one of the studies he did in his book, I'm gonna give you the scenario. Okay, you're at a bank and somebody comes in, they're robbing the bank. You get shot in the arm.
Damn.
Are you lucky or unlucky?
It depends. Do you want me to go with it?
Fucking give me an answer. No, don't. I want you. You're unlucky. Okay, why?
Because I got shot.
You are. See, you just failed the test. There you go. All right.
Damn.
So here's the thing. Reading like the context of the book, it's basically said this. So if a bank robber comes in, he shoots. He's gonna rob the bank. He shoots you. Here's the thing. You get shot in the arm. Did I say shot in the arm? Right.
Yeah, you did.
You could have got shot in the head. You could have got shot in the neck.
Very true.
You're very lucky because a lot worse, something bad could have happened to you.
Yeah.
See, so like you weren't very optimistic in this moment.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I was telling you, right? I was.
It's unfair. I knew what you were.
What?
I kind of knew that you were gonna go there, so I was like.
So you set
Let me
yourself
step
up?
into it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's no fun. I'm fucking.
But I understand,
rehearsed.
right? There's that the parable you did not want me to mention,
but yeah, the
parable
the way you've heard somewhere else.
Yeah,
but I'll give you an example. The other day I was driving home, right, and I told you like my window got cracked, my front window in my car, and for a moment I thought about it. Like I was like, if I would have took the toll roads that day, or if I would have carpooled on that day, I didn't have the opportunity. The person I carpooled with, anyways, I was like, man, if I would have done this or done that, I wouldn't have man, now I have to spend money to get this replaced. But because we were talking about luck, I started to think, man, like I guess just a cracked window ain't shit. Like I could have gotten like into a car accident. So I am very fortunate. So
yeah, I agree. I'm kind of I think uniquely in the way that like in a situation with the window or with the bank, I think I would feel both things. I would be like,
oh yeah, you got shot.
I would be like, I got shot. What could I have done differently to avoid this situation? But then I would have been like, you know what? I'm lucky. Yeah, that I didn't get shot in the, I don't know.
You didn't die. You took a bullet. So you're like 50 Cent
maybe
now.
I could be a rapper.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that.
Get a lot of views on the podcast.
You know what? I'll say this. Being in the entertainment field, I'm not talking about this, but like when I was like in a band, I felt very like the only opportunity I would get, it wasn't so much about our skill. I felt like we had to be in the right place at the right time. I think there's probably a lot of great musicians out there that are sitting in the garage. Luckily, social media has like a great avenue now, so you can post something. But there's tons of talented musicians that never reach the heights of like your favorite artist. Or you'll never hear them because it's just by chance or by luck. If you're in the right place at the right time, somebody's paying attention to you. I mean, with this podcast, right? Like there's probably... We're just waiting for the moment to somebody to like hear us, right? And is that luck? Is that chance? Well, it's not planned out,
it's
right?
Hard work. We put out a reel every day.
It is hard work, right? We consistently record. We always have a podcast up once a week every Friday.
We sacrifice 6 a.m. We sacrifice time with our family members.
Yeah, exactly. So we've put in work, and so this isn't luck. I mean,
do you even know who my favorite artist is?
Music artist?
Yeah.
Manya, right?
Manya? Mana? No.
That's what I said. I said that. Manya.
Little Rob, dude.
Oh, yeah? You love Little Rob?
Little Rob. He still got it.
Is he still going?
San Diego till we die.
Is he from
He's still going. He's doing concerts. Oh, dude.
When's the last time you saw Little Rob?
Oh, dude. Little Rob.
When's the last time you saw Little Rob?
Dude.
When's the last time you saw Little Rob? Never. You've never seen Little Rob. Your favorite artist. You've never seen Little Rob.
I have a question. Do you have time for this?
Yeah, we have plenty of time. We have a lot of time, actually.
We haven't talked about shit yet. Listening to intuition, how would you define that? Like how? Like
I was gonna ask you about that
that's
too.
That's the art of that's an art, right? Like
that's your gut, right?
Yeah.
How would I describe that? Yeah, that's it. Like that gut feeling. Like this doesn't feel right.
Someone who.
This person doesn't. I don't get good vibes about this person.
Someone who might hear this say, "What the fuck does that even mean? How do I even tap into this ability to listen to my intuition?"
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
I would say, well, I could say, that falls back on instincts, right? Like, and some people shouldn't trust their first instinct.
I think these are very hard things to conceptualize, right? Because this isn't about thoughts. This doesn't live in your head about how to think about these things. This is about feeling.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the things we need to get good at as a society is feeling our feelings.
Yeah.
Noticing our body, being aware, more self-aware of our bodily sensations, and through that process, I feel like you can develop really good intuition.
Yeah.
So I don't know, advocacy for mindfulness and body scanning meditations and all that. People sometimes are like, "Why the hell are you doing this?" I think that taps into this.
Yeah. This conversation is going in different ways, which I think is good. But like, I was going to ask you, like, there was an article I read on Psychology Today when I was looking up the whole luck concept. What is your take on like first impressions?
What's my take on first impressions?
Like,
they're important.
Do you feel like I guess this maybe ties into intuition. Like, does your first impression of somebody really dictate like your experience with that person, or do you feel like there's first impressions are just kind of it's a throwaway in some ways?
It depends. I think
you love the Depends. Yeah. Sponsored by Depends. Give me a couple years, I'll be down for that cause.
Really, couple. Next year. No, I think it does depend, because for me, like, I'm always aware of the first impression I give off.
Here's the thing. Didn't you say you're black and white thinking here? A lot of these are black and white, right?
Yeah. I did say that. I just tried to be nice, but
why don't you just be yourself?
I am. No, look, sometimes I engage in black and white thinking. Sometimes I don't. Today, the Manny that's showing up is very translucent.
Ooh.
Right? So
look at his flow.
There's a lot of gray.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So anyway, but I will say that, I'm very mindful of, like, when I meet someone, like, I'm not going to be like, "What up, G?" Like, it's not going to be like that. So I care about the first impression I give. When I'd like to give chances. So if someone messes up, says something a little bit that irks me, then I'll give them a chance. But it depends on what it is. If they say something like completely that pisses me off, like, maybe I won't give them another shot, right? So first impressions are important. But
I throw away first impressions, I think.
Yeah.
Because it really is.
Do you though?
Yeah, I do actually, because I feel like I can't get a read on it yet. It's kind of like I can't call it. I was telling you, kind of like your thing that the example you were talking about earlier.
You
right?
gotta judge impressions.
No. Okay, what are we talking about here, though? Like our first impression, like I meet somebody for the very first time. I gotta guess.
You gotta make a judgment call.
No, we don't.
No.
Why do I gotta judge?
Just because I thought we established this in our second episode, because we just judge as people.
Yes, we do just judge as people, but how are we practicing to be better people? It's not by that.
Sure.
First impressions to me, a lot of times, here's the thing, I feel like a lot of times I don't give everything. I can't give everything away anyways. And what I mean by that is like, I'm not always going to give away my true self to people, right? So people are guarded in general and people are judgmental, right? So first impressions to me is like there's a presentation, possibly your best self. So it's hard to really get a gauge of like, is this the person that fits into my life and my world? And there's different levels to that.
Are you talking about like first interactions, like someone's like,
yes,
hey,
my first
how's it going? Or are you talking about sitting with someone for the first time and like having like a lunch with them?
I guess I'm just thinking more off the cuff in the sense of like my first impression, like my first interaction. Maybe I bump into somebody in the hallway.
Yes,
or
I agree.
Okay, so that would be
We're in agreement. Yeah.
That's my example of a first impression, and that's hard to really like to call it on that scenario. I think I need more. I need it to breathe more. I can't just like say, "Hey, you are this," because I feel like if you come across, I feel like at least you come across me. I don't know if I'm the best at first impressions. I'm kind of somebody that you gotta let settle in a little and be like, you know what, that's all right, or that person's okay. Like this person, I get it. Like, so like I think that first impressions, I really try to throw those away. Yeah. It's a bad representation of like the character.
Like a shot of medium stock tequila, right? Like it's like you're not sure, but then it's like, okay, this is kind of good. Don't give me a hangover the next day.
Yeah, that's right. So and don't do drugs.
You don't do drugs.
Yeah. So
very cool. What else we got on this? What?
This is the silence we've been talking about at the beginning of the episode,
Let's
right?
do this.
We got some time. So, luck be a lady tonight. You know that from Frank Sinatra? Have you heard that song before?
I haven't. No.
So I'll ask you again to tie this all together.
Yeah.
Are you lucky or unlucky?
I'm very lucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we're gonna end on?
No, we got a couple more minutes here. Our session's not done. So
okay. All right.
Why don't you ask me?
All right. Are you lucky or unlucky?
I am a lucky person.
Yeah.
I think I
I'm
am.
happy to say it. I've
turned it around. I think that I do have a lot of good luck in my life. So,
dude, after the stories that you've told in here about the shit that you've been through,
yeah,
hell yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah. So I could be in a lot, like I said, as I kind of mentioned earlier, a worse scenario, but I've achieved it. Are
you an optimistic person?
I try to be more glasses half full these days, for sure. I would say one of the things also too I want to bring up in the whole like 4 traits of a lucky person, resilience, right? That's somebody with high expectations. That's what I read.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did I was kind of not feeling that too much. Like
I agree with it.
I believe in keeping your expectations like low, because that's kind of creating a defeated, like it's almost creating defeat, I think, in some ways.
Okay.
Like you can be resilient, but expectation, isn't that different though? To be resilient doesn't mean you have to create great expectations.
I think to be resilient, you have to know thyself. To me, when I hear resilient, is self-compassion.
Okay.
Like, so self-compassion is that the thing that your superpower to help you get through anything. And so when I think resilience, I think you can get through anything. You can overcome a lot of things. And I think you need a lot of self-compassion to be able to do that. But high expectations, I think I don't like that word. I like more like high standards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like a resilient person to me has high standards for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and expectations of other people, you can't really control that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe you have high standards for the people that you surround yourself with, right? And in a way, that's sort of like expectations.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You're lucky because the time is up on this session. There's another transition.
I get so anxious about time. You realize that?
I know you do.
Fuck.
You mention it a lot in the podcast.
Dude, we got to do a signal because I don't want to like bring it up too much.